Now.
Rightio. Oh, technology.
It's always great fun. What are you talking about?
We love it, don't we? We love it.
We love it so much.
Who doesn't? Anyway, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Slice Fried Gold. For the record, I'm Paddy.
And I'm Ben.
If you're joining us for the first time and you're watching on YouTube, leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below on this week's topics. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a 5-star review, comment down below as well on this week's topics of discussion. This week happens to be movie reviews, as well as potentially other things. Who knows what's going on? But without that, with all those pleasantries done.
I'm sorry, can we just acknowledge that someone in a Nissan Micra has the window sticker bad boy?
You know what? I didn't even notice that.
A blue, not even a blue, a powder blue.
Powder blue.
Nissan Micra. Bad boy. Oh, I just saw that and I was like, oh my God. That is hilarious.
Oh dear. That's just not good at all. That is not good. It's just not a strong look.
Do you know what that is? That is 17-year-old. His parents have bought him his first car, so he's had no choice on what it was. And it's a powder blue Nissan Micra, so he's now got to get some street cred back. And his option to do that is to buy a window sticker that says bad boy. Bad boy. And he doesn't even do it in a straight line. He does it across the back window. Because that's how much of a rebel he is.
You crazy motherfucker. Oh, Jesus.
Me. Anyway, carry on with your speech.
Oh, Ipswich.
Oh, Ipswich.
How hard are you?
They're well hard, mate.
Well hard.
Well hard. Anyway, carry on with your spiel.
Anyway, I was just going to say, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I had one of those days, or one of those weeks where, like, I looked at my bank account.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. What?
Oh, somebody's not having a good time.
Well, the bus is trying to come down a one-way street.
Wait, are we the wrong way?
No, because look, the sign...
There's a sign, people.
I don't know where they think they're going. This is a one-way street.
Oh, Ipswich. You have just proven a point.
Mate, this is a one-way street. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, no, the bus has just scratched his car. Well.
Oh, Ipswich old people.
Alright, so where the fuck am I supposed to go now?
This is high-tech stuff here.
Reverse.
I'm half tempted to just say pull on the handbrake and we'll just sit here and watch.
Yes, but we need to get to the pub.
We do.
So.
We do. The pub is calling people. Yes, you've had one of them weeks.
Where, like, so I looked at my bank account.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I've got X amount of money in it.
Yeah.
And I had my last bill out. Granted, it was my biggest bill.
Oh, okay.
But it was my last bill of the month. And I thought, great, that should leave me with, like, 300 quid spare.
Okay.
And then, like, 2 days later, I checked it. It was like 100 quid spare. I was like,
I had the same.
I was like, where the fuck has my...
What is going on?
The bus is... For the people... Because, of course, you can't see. But the bus is just moved.
Right. Ready? Right.
So the bus has just moved to be replaced by another bus.
We don't really know what's going on. Jesus. And I don't think Ipswich knows what's going on either, people.
Jesus.
Can we turn down that road?
No. Yeah, but I don't know if when we turn down the road, if we're forced to come out and go that way. I don't know. No. It is it two-way by the top of it? Oh, well, let's see where this person goes. Please don't turn, Oh no, they've gone the other way. So, we're all good. Yeah, they're turning right, we can turn right. We're all good.
Cool. What a start! It's almost like an episode of Top Gear.
That's your chair just locking back into place as you faffed with it today.
Well, it's not my fault you moved the chair.
It's your fault for having the chair so far back.
I've got to be in line with you. We've got to feel like we're in like this episode's gone downhill already. Jesus.
If I have to put the chairs back. No, but your chair was further back than mine because I was able to get the seats behind my chair down fine. No issues. So anyway. We're now back on track, kind of.
This is crazy. This is quite possibly the worst start we've ever had to this. Oh, this is crazy.
It's better than all the times where we started, we thought we've done really well, and then we've looked and like something hasn't recorded.
Oh yeah, there's that. There is that.
There's those times where we're like, yeah, great recording. Yeah. It hasn't recorded.
No.
Great. So like my money has just disappeared. I was like, what the fuck? What have I done? What have I spent it on? So I had one of those weeks. Mm-hmm. And then I nearly died laughing at one of my colleagues the other day who had a proper blonde moment.
Okay.
So for context, and you'll probably see where the story's going when I start to say this.
Yeah.
We now have our phones are provided.
Fucking buses.
Our phone lines are provided through the internet.
Oh, okay.
And our internet went down.
Okay.
And she decided to call our IT support.
Okay.
To tell them our internet had gone down.
Yeah.
And then I started laughing.
Yeah.
And she's like, why are you laughing? I was like, I'm laughing at you, you dumb bitch. I didn't say that, obviously. I didn't say that. I was like, I'm laughing at you.
But I know you were thinking it.
And she was like, why are you laughing at me? And I was like, you're calling the IT support team because our internet's gone down. And she's like, yeah. And the whole office then looked at me like, where are you going with this? And I was like, our phone lines are through the internet? And then, of course, it clicked for the whole office. Everyone started laughing. She was like, I was wondering why it wasn't ringing. And I was like, oh, my goodness. And wow, we've only had our phone lines through the internet for a year now. Yeah, only a year.
Only a year.
And it was,
only 365 days.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It may be the first time the internet's gone down in that time.
Yeah.
But still, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
And let's make 6.
Jesus.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm okay. As you fully well know, I've been on the day shifts lately.
You have been on the day shifts?
I've been on the morning shifts. So waking up at 5:30 in the morning has not agreed with me. I am a tired paddy.
Poor Wickle Paddo.
Yeah, exactly. I was not built to be doing day stuff. I was built to be staying in till 11 o'clock like I did, and then going out and venturing out into the world. I mean, to be fair, I used to be very much day people. But when you've been doing when you're used to being like a night owl, then suddenly having to do day stuff is like a real struggle.
Yeah, but then you'll knowing your luck, you'll get back into that routine, you'll be fine with doing day stuff, and then you'll switch back to the evenings and you'll be like, what is this?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
kind of how that week went. But yeah, overall, nothing really to report. Yeah, actually makes a change. I've had another idiot that, with allergies, that decided that her friend was going to joke about saying, oh, well, give her all the stuff that'll make her ill and things like that. And I was just like, so, no? So, what's going on?
That's the restaurant equivalent of the people who pull in front of you and then slam their brakes on in an attempt to get you to rear end them.
These people, right in front of us.
No, he was pulling out of a car park, albeit a little bit slowly.
Yeah.
So he was just taking his time. He was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so I went to the family meal on Sunday.
Yes.
Granted, it was Sunday, but it was every single person in front of me.
Yeah.
It was like an old biddy on their Sunday drive. And it was just like, move! Right. Get out of my way!
Yeah.
I am already running late and this is not helping.
Yeah.
Talking about idiots. So we're here at 2 roundabouts where you can easily see across both roundabouts, yes?
Yeah.
So you can see when there's an issue.
Yeah.
The person in front of me, as I was coming to get you, person in front of me didn't clock the broken down car with the AA van in front of it in one of the lanes.
So what, just stayed in the bad...
And they went straight up behind the AA van and only sort of clocked as they got behind the AA van.
What a dickhead.
And I was like, these are two roundabouts you can easily see across.
Yeah.
Why, like, how... I swear, you know, who was I talking to? I was talking to a friend the other day, and they said that the government should bring it in that people have to retake their tests like every 5 years. And I was like, absolutely not. Disagree. I'm a fantastic driver. Get fucked.
Yeah.
I was like, I ain't paying that money every 5 years. You can fuck off. And then it was kind of like, no. For people like that, yes. Not just not me.
Yeah.
Just not me.
But that's the thing. Those things should be. Like, I don't know about your parents, but when I was learning to drive, my parents were just like, they took like one of the theory tests, one of the CD-ROMs, and they were like, I would never have, and they didn't, and it was just like, I wouldn't have passed that test if I had to do those things.
No, because my mum wasn't interested in that kind of thing, and you know my dad.
Yeah.
Thinks so highly of himself that he wouldn't even deem to do the test because he already knows it.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it's just like, those kind of things could potentially help the world.
It could.
If they did it every 5 years.
But then, if they did it every 5 years, would insurances come down?
Well, they should.
They should, but they won't, because it's money.
Obviously.
And the world is greedy. Come on, green lights! We've been stopped so many times by everything tonight.
Well, it's
yes, I know.
Bad. Yes, thank you, car.
Thank you, car.
This is going downhill very quickly.
But we power on through because we are
we are British.
We British.
Keep calm and we carry on.
And we are, if anything, not professional.
Exactly.
We are not professional. We will carry on.
You know what I said earlier? It was like, we're going to do a driving one or a sit-at-home one? We should have probably done a sit-at-home one.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Oh, well.
Come on.
Right.
We're doing this. We're doing it.
Let's do it. Let's just talk movies.
Right.
I've got nothing to talk about.
Because this is a double bill. We're doing two movies.
We're doing two movies. And we haven't been seeing each other's movies.
Yes.
We haven't seen these together. Mm-hmm. I have seen one movie. Ben has seen another movie. Who wants to go first?
You go first.
Rightio. I have been to see Equalizer 3.
Yes.
For those who don't know, this is the third movie out of 3.
Is it really?
It is. That's why there's
okay.
a 3 and 3 in the title.
So it's not the fifth?
No.
Okay.
It's not a prequel. It's not nothing like that.
Well, you never know. They could have done Equalizer 1 and 2, and then Equalizer, the equals divides up, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Before going on to Equalizer 3.
That's what I was trying to clarify. This movie is the third.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington stars.
Okay.
I don't think you've seen either of them. No? Okay. So the first one, great. Second one, pretty average. This one, very good. Very good.
Okay.
It's based on a retired CIA agent who's basically effectively more of a hitman as opposed to an agent, as opposed to like the classic Discovery and all this kind of stuff. But this one felt like very much more like an espionage movie with its action. Feel like put like John Wick with an actual storyline.
Oh,
okay.
Contentious remark. Are you saying John Wick doesn't have a storyline?
Well, it does. It has a very loose.
You are going to piss off so many people with that comment.
Come on, they know. The storyline in John Wick is good, but weak. It's more about action. This movie is more about the storyline and potentially setting up sequels and or spin-offs.
You're a brave man for saying that comment.
I'm saying. Look, like 30 people watch this. Who's going to watch? Okay, nobody cares. Either way.
Someone share this video with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, do it.
See how bad he takes it then.
He's already said today that he wanted a definitive ending for John Wick 4, but the producers wouldn't allow.
Of course they wouldn't. It's a money spinner.
Exactly. So
look at the Marvel universe. It makes money. They're not going to stop it.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. This movie had more of a proper storyline, to the saga.
Yeah.
As opposed to John Wick movies. It had gore, it had violence, it had everything you needed in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Washington is an actor. He's a great actor. However, you could probably feel and I'm not going to sound ageist, but you can feel he's aging this one. He wasn't, compared to the first one.
How did it feel? Did it feel a bit wrinkly, a bit lumpy?
Bit wrinkly, bit lumpy,
a few hairs.
Yeah, in places that you don't want the hairs.
Start pulling them out your teeth.
Yeah. Good, long enough to floss. Right.
Anyway, carry on.
I mean, it was a good film. It was a strong film. I didn't feel bored throughout it. Cinematography great, action great, but compared to and like with most movies in these kind of scenarios, you always go back to the first. And the first is still the strongest. Everybody's saying, oh, this third one's probably the best one out of the three. It's not. I would say this is second. I would go 1, 3, 2. This was a good film. The first one is probably the better one. I feel like this one lacked a couple of bit of action scenes. Kind of tried to save it towards the end. But overall, it was a solid film. Denzel Washington was great. Dakota Fanning is in it, who obviously worked with Denzel in Man on Fire, which is a film, but it's so long ago that you kind of feel like, wow, that's a callback to have like this person back with him when in that movie, in Man on Fire, you know, she was playing a very small child, and in this, she's an adult. So you can see the distance between the actors.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from anybody's acting or the story or whatever. There's a very, very brief scene at the end which helps tie back to the first one. So for those who are big fans will understand it, and those that have maybe not seen it or have only seen it like when it first come out but haven't seen it since like 2016, 2017 I think the first one come out, they might not necessarily remember. But overall it was a solid film. It's definitely worth a watch. For those that are happy to sit through more of a story-based action movie as opposed to an Arnold Schwarzenegger or a Stallone or a John Wick kind of full-on action movie. It's got its action, but it is more story-based. And that's where I think people need to understand that. I think it works for the series as a total because it is more story-based.
Yeah.
As opposed to action-based. But the action in it is great. It is a great film. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, do you want to talk about your movie?
Yes, go on then. I went to see The Nun 2.
Yep.
Now, to preface this, I will say I haven't seen The Nun 1.
Yep.
So I cannot say if it's better or worse than the original.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
If you know you're going to go see a horror film,
yes,
what are you expecting from it?
Horror.
Okay.
To be scared, to be jumped, to be on the edge of my seat and like kind of maybe be slightly uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So of course you would expect jump scares, tension.
Yeah.
You know, for me, a good horror film doesn't show you much and lets your imagination fill in the blanks.
Yeah. Jaws. Yeah.
This is not that film.
Oh, okay.
It was not scary. There was no jump scares.
Yeah.
Like the person I went to watch it with loves horror films, and his partner hates them. So he's like, "Can you come with me?" Because he don't want to come. I was like, "Yeah, sure, fine." They jumped more in the like when we went to see a previous film and the Nun 2 trailer came on. They jumped more in during the trailer than they did in the actual film. There was no tension. Yeah. There was no build. You could tell the film was trying to build things up.
Yeah.
You could really tell it was like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to start feeling nervous. This is where I'm supposed to start feeling on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the jump scare. Like there was just nothing.
Yeah.
It was so poor and so bad, and you can tell they are gunning for a franchise, and it's.
This was going to be one of my questions because spoiler alert, I knew what he had seen. Because obviously this is part of the Conjuring universe. And these are spin-offs from it.
Yeah.
I've seen the first Conjuring movie, which was phenomenal, but basically everything since the first has been very weak.
Well, this is the thing, because when I went to, talking across the office, and I was saying, I'm off to go see The Nun 2, and everyone's like, the fuck is The Nun 2? I was like, it's a spin-off from the Conjuring films.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, oh, they're scary, aren't they?
Yeah.
So The Conjuring has got this name
Stigma.
for itself
of
being scary.
Yeah, 100%.
And yet this one was not. There was some interesting effects, like, when you're a kid and you're in bed at night and you've got that pile of clothes on the chair in the corner of your room and you can see a face in that pile of clothes.
Yes.
They had a few moments like that in the film, and I was like, okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate how you've filmed that and shot that.
Yeah.
What's the word?
Yeah, I appreciate it. I see you.
It was sort of telling a child, well done for trying.
Yeah.
What picture is this? Oh, it's supposed to be a giraffe. It doesn't look anything like a giraffe, but I'll put it up on the fridge. Well done.
You give it the old good college try.
Yeah. But other than that, it was just bad.
Yeah.
There was people behind us laughing because, of course, they were so bored and everything.
Wow.
And they're like, oh, it's so scary. Someone. It wasn't me that snapped at them to shut up. It was someone else.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just poor. It was bad, and they didn't even stick to their own rules. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give away the story for some people who might want to watch it. But they're running away from the monster.
Yeah.
They shut the door, and they make a point of showing how the monster can't get through the door.
Okay.
But then things still keep happening to them on the other side of the door. And it's like, so what's the whole point of the door then?
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. It beeped.
That's silly.
The camera beeped.
Yeah.
Okay. We good?
Yeah. I told you about why it beeped.
Yeah, I know, but I've probably forgotten.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. But yeah, so it was just kind of like, this is weak, this is poor, this is bad. I can tell, where it's going. I can tell where it's trying to be scary and trying to build up that tension. It's just not working.
Right.
So yeah, it was just bad. And as I said, they're gunning for a series of them. And I will spoil this one moment because I don't care.
Go for it.
But halfway through the film, they go, because of course it's nuns and everything, they go to some papal archives.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I've got a contact in this library, this papal archives library, whatever. And they're talking to this guy, and they're like, but what do you think it is? And he's like, well, I'm just a humble librarian. But now I'm going to explain the whole plot of the movie within the next 3 minutes. And it was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just a humble librarian who doesn't know anything, apart from the whole story.
Yeah.
And, of course, good stories show, don't tell.
Yeah.
And this told.
Yeah.
And so, poor film, don't recommend.
Good.
Just, there's nothing else more I can say about it.
I've heard nothing but bad things about this movie.
Yeah.
From my understanding, is that even I feel like the Conjuring movies have had 3 so far.
It's either 3 or 4.
Either 3 or 4. But basically, the whole universe, basically apart from the first and potentially part of the second one, is basically just been a load of crap. But people keep on going and hoping that it will be okay.
Well, it's like
that it will then gain traction, and that's how it makes its money.
I'm going to steal an analogy from my beloved video game reviewer, Zero Punctuation. You'll have to put a link in.
Love
him. He's hilarious. His analogies are fantastic and just everything. And also, he's a proper wordsmith. Hufflepuff would love him. She wouldn't care about the video games he's talking about, but the way he crafts words and everything, chef's kiss. In one of his reviews, you'll have to link it in the bottom. He's talking about you remember the reboot Prince of Persia they made?
Yes,
the shell staining one.
Yeah.
He talks about how Ubisoft, with the original trilogy, came upon a golden goose who laid a golden egg.
Yeah.
And in an attempt to try and recreate that magic, they tested what they were feeding it. They cut it open and and when they realised that they couldn't work it out again, they stitched it back together in hopes that it would relay the golden egg again, and it just won't because it's dead.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah. That is the Conjuring universe altogether.
That is the Conjuring universe altogether. The first one struck gold.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to work out what they did to strike gold.
Yeah.
And it's just,
But this is also the thing about, like, movie franchises in general. You know, at the time of recording this, in, like, 20-odd-ish days' time, another Saw movie's coming out.
Yes.
The first Saw movie made James Wan, and it was such a phenomenal, such a groundbreaking, different kind of horror movie that it set the trend.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like it's on its 11th movie. It's just too much.
Yeah.
They need to learn that maybe sometimes making a movie needs to be just like a one-off and enjoy that movie. That's why I like a lot of like Christopher Nolan movies. Yeah, okay, it's not horror. He's done like horror aspects in some movies, but he tends to, apart from the Dark Knight trilogy, yes, I know, he tends to do one and done.
Yes.
And sometimes one and done movies should just be that. Just one and done. Leave it as it is.
Yeah.
You know? Just because you've made this horror movie doesn't necessarily mean that it needs a franchise on it. Look at the Friday the 13th movies, the Halloween movies. With each one, they progressively get worse and worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to just make a movie. Everybody goes, oh my God, that was amazing. And then leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
I've brought this up as well, actually, on what I've mentioned before about the most recent Invisible Man movie. That was a phenomenal movie. Same with The Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon as well. Brilliant Invisible Man movie. Did they make... Well, they may have made a Hollow Man 2, potentially. But I think it was one of those, like... It was almost like Disney straight to VHS sequels. One of them.
Yeah,
like one of them. Where it wasn't even like half the original cast. That kind of job. It was one of them. But they just need to make horror movies for the love of making horror movies, not trying to make it a franchise and a money spinner.
Yep.
And I think and that's where the horror movie
I don't think it applies just to horror movies, though. I think it applies to all franchises.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
yeah,
because we've talked multiple times about Marvel fatigue.
Yeah.
You know, you get fatigue across everything. And yeah, I just think that it's studios and everything need to realise just because it works once doesn't mean it's going to work again. I'm pretty sure it's Einstein who said, you know, the what is the proof of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yes. Yeah.
Was it Einstein? No, that's not
Einstein. Or was
Einstein.
it Newton?
No.
It was some philosopher.
They're physicists, not philosophers.
It was a philosopher.
It's probably Freud.
Yeah, probably.
Like, fucked up man.
While he was shagging his mum.
Don't, because there's going to be someone who watches this who then believes like he truly shagged his mum. No, he just talks about shagging your mum. He doesn't. I don't think he actually ever did it.
I don't know.
Wikipedia.
To Wiki. But yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think movies should be made for making the love of movies, as opposed to trying to make a franchise and a money spinner. If you work it at that. Look at like, as much as it's like a great film, look at like Pirates of the Caribbean. The first Pirates of the Caribbean was such a great film, but it didn't have, when they made it, they didn't make it as a mindset of a spin-off.
No.
They just made it for the movie of making a movie. And that's what they should go back to doing.
Yes, 100% agree.
But with that...
Final thoughts?
Buses
in Ipswich, what are you doing? Trying to go down one-way streets.
Just Ipswich.
Just Ipswich.
Ipswich as a whole.
Why must money always disappear?
Money.
Comment down below, have you ever had one of those times where you think, yes, I've got so much money, and then you look at your bank account 2 days later and it's all gone?
It's all gone. All the bills go out, everything goes out, and the next thing you know, you're broke again.
Yeah.
It's crap.
And you're sort of going, 10 more days till payday, 10 more days till payday.
I'm literally like that today. It's unbelievable. Equalizer 3 Good film. If you like the franchise, it's the second best in my opinion out of the three, but definitely a good watch.
The Nun 2, terrible, absolutely useless of a film.
Yeah.
Like, you know how we say when we're reviewing bad films, we say, oh, get a load of friends round, get some snacks, and just rip it to shit.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd even find that fun.
No.
It wouldn't even be fun doing that because it's just bad.
Yeah.
And blonde moments, when blonde moments happen to yourself, embarrassing. But when they happen to other people, hilarious.
We love it.
So comment down below. Have you seen either of the two films? What do you think?
Have you had a blonde moment that was funny for everybody else but not for yourself?
Yeah.
Have you been there when a blonde moment happened?
Let us know down below.
Hilarious. And that brings this week's episode to a close.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, you tell your mum, you tell your grandma, you tell your dog. If you're listening on Spotify, please do give us a 5-star review and comment down below. And with that, thank you very much.
We'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.